As we saw in the previous part of our journey of discovery of the relics of St. Anthony, scientists from the universities of Padua and Pisa made the surprising discovery that the saint's vocal cords and the hyoid bone were still in good condition. During the anatomical examination and the cataloging of the bones, however, the scholars were also able to deduce some facts about Antony's physical features: the height, the age at the time of his death, and his probable appearance. All the bones, in fact, were in an excellent state of preservation despite the passage of almost 8 centuries. This was probably due to the large amount of incense and other aromatic herbs that were found in the coffin. As for his physical height, the scientists came to the definite conclusion that Antony was about 5 feet 7 inches. If we compare this with the average height of people in those days, which was around 5 feet 4 inches, then Antony was somewhat taller than most people. The structure of his skull reveals that his face was rather narrow and oval with deep-set eyes. In other words, his overall appearance and complexion can be classified as Mediterranean. His features were noble and elegant. This need not to surprise us because we know that he was born in Lisbon to parents belonging to the nobility, the Beautiful, and that his father Martin was a knight of King Alfonso. It was found that he had long, tempered hands and a well-proportioned body. The bone structure of the tibia just below the knees appeared a little enlarged, which suggests that Antony spent long hours kneeling in prayer. The bones of his feet are also enlarged, and this would confirm his long walking trips around Italy and the south of France. At the end of their studies, the scientists also offered some hypotheses as to the cause of the saint's death. Traditionally, it has been conjectured that he had died from dropsy. According to the new studies, however, this explanation is too vague. In the Middle Ages, the term dropsy was used to indicate several diseases. Even the suggestion that he may have died from cirrhosis of the liver, of kidney failure, does not appear plausible because the saint would then have been totally unconscious at the time of his death, whereas all the biographers attest that he was bright and conscious when he died. The scientific commission also excluded intestinal cancer as a cause of the saint's death because it would have left signs of metastasis on the bones, but there was no trace of it in them. The expert therefore concluded that St. Anthony most likely died of fatigue and poor nutrition due to the extraordinary amount of work he performed every day and the heavy fasts and penances he subjected his body to. The scientific examination also concluded that the saint was approximately 40 years old at the time of his death, probably 39 years old and 9 months to be precise. On the evening of January the 31st, 1981, the body of the saint lying on a pink cushion and placed inside a crystal urn was exposed to the veneration of the faithful precisely on this location in the chapel of the relics. For about a month, thousands of people passed by the urn with devout recollection. Many of them subsequently approached the sacraments of penance and the Eucharist. But now I would like to show you a special reliquary. Follow me. The reliquary is in gold and silver and inlaid with brilliant gems and was created by the Paduan artist Roberto Cremesini in 1982. It contains one of the saint's foot sesamoid bones and a section of skin from his face removed during the 1981 scientific examination. It comes in the form of a walnut tree from which the urn, which contains the relics, hangs like a walnut. All of these relics here in the Basilica of St. Anthony are universally recognized as authentic. However, there are people, sometimes even Catholics, who question the religious significance of relics. In this regard, I would like to quote from a letter which St. Jerome addressed to a heretic named Vigilantio. Just think that this letter was written in the 5th century. You show distrust because you are only thinking of a dead body. Read the Gospel, which says, "The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob is not the God of the dead, but of the living." If therefore they are alive, then they are not simply, to use your expression, kept in normal custody. Let us therefore now turn our prayer to our dear St. Anthony before this holy relic. Dear St. Anthony, bless our work and our families and make us sensitive to the plight of the poor, the suffering and the marginalized. Make yourself our intercessor to the Father. Speak to him on our behalf and obtain for us the grace that we sorely need. Amen.